How's it going, guys? I'm just gonna make a video here to kind of help out with anybody that's possibly buying or looking to buy a weed eater, or kind of looking at used ones, or just, you know, curious about some of them. So I'm gonna give you a little bit of my experience with them and some of my advice. The first thing I would say is if you're buying a weed eater, don't go the cheap route. A lot of people want to just go buy, you know, just a home type weed eater, lightweight, you know, homeowner type, and that's fine. I mean, you're going to save you some money then, but it's not going to last. You're going to turn around in another year or two, and if you're lucky, you have to buy another one. The next thing you know, you've got $400, $300 or $400, you know, in a couple of different weed eaters, and the time and the aggravation to go get it. So you're better off to buy a used heavy duty or commercial type weed eater than you are to buy a cheap home light one, even if you're just doing trimming around your house. I mean, you're better off to spend that money and get the life out of it. I've got a couple different videos on each one of these here if you want to learn a little bit more, but mainly on this one I'm just going to compare the two, and I hope to get a little correction on this, because I'm sure I'm wrong on some of it. But from what I've studied up on, because I've had this the one on the left here, this FS80 for a long time, and I was picked up this other one, which I had studied up on a little bit. To what I could figure out is it's kind of the replacement of the 80. Most of the Stihls anymore are those 4-stroke weed eaters, the 90s and the 110s and all those. And you know, I don't mind them. They're great for big stuff, but like just trimming up, they don't do like the old 2-stroke weed eaters do. So I was trying to find something that compared to that, and these 94Rs, from what I can tell just by the specs and all, is kind of what replaced those. They're not as easy to find. From what I've seen, most of the time you'll find all the 4-stroke ones, but this one here is what's compared it, or I think is what compares to this 80R here. What I will say is, you know, I like the 94. It seems to run a lot like this one here. It's got some stuff on it that you know, is kind of useless to me. This throttle here, you can set it up or down, which I think is okay. Like if you're just going around you know, just around the house, you kind of want to set that speed, or it's like a speed limit too. Like you can't overwind it. Like if you're around something delicate, I guess you could turn that down to where you don't over press it. But I mean, to me, if you weed eat enough, you kind of know how to work your trigger and all. I don't know. I don't benefit that much from it, but it starts fine, but it does not start as good as the 80 does. I don't care what you do. It takes more pulls, but it always fires. I don't ever have an issue with that. It's just, it doesn't fire as quick. And most of the time I choke it until it starts to start, and then I turn the choke off and fire it again. But you got to prime that bubble about 10 times before you do it anyway. As far as power wise, I think it's about the same. I don't really tell much of a difference in the two, but you know, they seem to be pretty good. I know a lot of people probably don't do that, but I take the guards off of them. I can run a little extra string out. That one's not running out very far right now, but I don't like to get too carried away with it, because it is a little hard on your weed eater if you're getting too much out. You can't really open it up, but I do run a little extra out. And the guards are bad to cake up with grass, and they can just get heavier, and it just takes a lot of light off. One thing I do like about this weed eater, better than the 80, is it's a little bit lighter. I did notice that. Obviously it is right now, because this one's got a blade on it, this one's got a string head, but just if they're both running string heads, the 94 is a little bit lighter, so I do like that. I bought it just because, you know, I thought, well, if the 80 goes down, or I can at least put a blade on the old one and keep it on, keep string head on this one, and you know, I wanted another one of these, but it's, you know, they don't make them anymore, so this is the closest thing I think I can get to it. But it's a good weed eater so far. I'd be willing to say, and again, I've not experienced this, but just from what I'm picking up on it, I don't think it's got near the years. I don't think the new 94 will last as long as the 80. I just don't. I do have more experience on this 80, and I know what it's done, and I can speak more on that. I think I did on the actual 80R review that I did, but just mainly just knocking out the two comparisons here, because I'm sure there's people just like me that's kind of looked into them and either had this one or was wanting to see what the old two strokes was, or was just kind of curious, because this model here is a little bit different than all the ones you'll see on the rack when you go to the Stihl place. But that's pretty much what it is. Is kind of the comparison to this. But I hope that helped. Again, I've got a couple other videos of just talking more on the old 80R, and you know, kind of some tips and buying tips on both of them. So if you would subscribe and tune in for more videos. I hope that you can get a little help out of it, because I look up stuff too before I buy it, especially used stuff. You know, not everybody buys new, and you know, there's all kinds of reviews on new stuff, but not on old stuff. So I try to pick out used stuff, so that way people kind of know, because it's so easy to buy used stuff anymore with the way the internet's set up. So anyway, thanks for watching, and tune in for the rest of my videos.